What's good, everybody? The Washington Wizards get blown out like a candle, 140-101 in Cleveland, led by 24 points from Max Strus. And Spider did his thing tonight for the Cleveland Cavs. So we're going to recap the game, look at what went wrong for the Wizards tonight, and then we're going to chop it up at the end like we always do. Next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again, and I'm here with my backcourt mate, the real Ed Oliver. We appreciate you guys making Locked On Wizards your first listen every single day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets for any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. So, the Washington Wizards night gets smoked like a cheap pack of cigarettes, 140-101 in Cleveland. So, I mean, we say it all the time, man. Different game, same script. So, what went wrong tonight, man?
Everything went wrong for the Washington Wizards. It's last night we joked around about the bench. Craig Porter, who he played for, and 2K created player, and he ended up with 8 points. Sam Merrill, 3 threes, 11 points. Karis LeVert, 21 points off the bench. Georges Niang, 15 points. Tristan Thompson almost had a double-double. And guess what? Jared Allen had 19 and 17. So he almost had a 20-20 game like Mark Williams.
Wow.
Every single preview I bring up Gafford, and I love Gaff. Not just his fault. It's the roster construction because they just don't have, after Gafford, Mescal is your backup. And I don't even know. Yeah, Gallo didn't play at all. This was a DNP. Not like they just rested Gallo. Wes just decided not to play Gallinari at all. I don't know why Wes decided. I'm not saying it would have changed anything at all. It wouldn't have changed anything at all. But, Jared Allen dominated 17 points, 19 rebounds. It just made it look really easy rebounding the ball. And then Max Strus, man, 6 threes. Like, he had a bunch of wide open threes that we just let him. It was like target practice. It was like the 3-point contest out there, honestly. Same thing with Georges Niang. He had 3 threes. Donovan Mitchell hitting 4 threes. The largest lead was 44 for the Cavaliers. Our largest lead was 5. They out-rebounded us. They just punked us and bullied us at times, or just bullied the Wizards. I'm not going to say us this tonight. They just punked the Wizards and bullied the Wizards tonight. I'll always be a fan, but seriously, they punked and out-physicaled, out-hustled, outworked. Somebody in the we'll get to the comments later, of course, but somebody said that Max Strus bullied Daniel Gafford. There was a play where Isaac Okoro bodied Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet tried to take a charge, and he fell backward, but Isaac Okoro bodied him. So 62 boards to 36. The Cavs had 62 rebounds. The Wizards only had 36. I mean, that's just so they literally doubled the Wizards' rebounds. Since 36 plus 36 is what's that, 72? So they almost doubled the Washington Wizards' rebounds, which is just inexcusable and really ridiculous. So the Wizards didn't come ready to play tonight. They got punched in the mouth and didn't respond. 37 assists for the Cavs to 22. You can go down every statistical category. 68 points in the paint for the Cavs to the Wizards 52. Every statistical the Cavs shot 20. They made 23s tonight. 20 for 42, 47% from the 3-point line. Just way too easy. They just look like they were in a different league. And this is without Evan Mobley. This is without Darius Garland. So they were not full strength at all. And the Wizards got dominated 140-101. They were down by 44 at one point.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Tough one for them playing, a tough one to watch, man. I mean,
Johnny Davis got a dunk.
Yeah, I mean, look, Johnny Davis got a dunk, man. So we got to pop some bottles, man. But I mean, it was a blowout, man. I mean, they dominated every area of the game, man. I think the hardest I saw the Wizards play were the first 7 minutes of the first quarter. After that, the Cavs took over, and that was it. Rebounding is just abysmal. Again, abysmal. It's hard to watch. I mean, we gave up 35 points or 35 second chance points. Come on, man. I mean, it's frustrating to watch because I'm sitting here watching with my wife, man, and I'm watching them get 2-3 rebounds in one possession. And there was a couple possessions where They gave them 2-3 offensive rebounds, and they still were missing. I mean, they had so many chances, man. The rebounding is just hard to watch. This is probably the worst rebounding team I've seen in DC. I say it again. This is the worst Wizards team as far as rebounding I've ever seen in DC. I mean, they're just abysmal. Defensively, every aspect again, they got smoked. I mean, the 3-point line, I mean, the rotations continue to be slow. They're taking their time. You're not closing out the shooters. I mean, shooters have 2-3 seconds to get a shot off. I mean, it's just there's no effort, there's no passion, there's no heart. And I'm gonna say, man, I believe they checked out. Especially the vets. I think a lot of the vets, man, are checked out. Everybody's looking forward to the deadline because look, I mean, the news is out. You know, Kyle Kuzma and Tyus Jones are on the trade block, so they know that after the deadline, the priority is going to be developing young players. You know, it is officially going to be a rebuild. And you know, everybody knew that the deadline was that point we're looking at because they had to get a lot of these veteran contracts off the books. And that's where you're really going to see the rebuild, man. But they checked out. And it's unfortunate, man, because, you know, as a fan, it's like, why watch, man, if you're going to check out? Like, it's unfortunate, man, because we got dominated. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's many words to describe it, man. But, I mean, like you said, almost every statistical category, they dominated us. And that's without Evan Mobley. That's without Darius Garland. I mean, their bench dominated. They destroyed our bench. I mean, and even when you look at how the first and second unit overlap, their second unit was rolling with our first at certain moments in the game, man. I mean, they played well. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, yeah, you can definitely expect that, but Max Strus playing the 2 guard in Mitchell's spot because Garland's out, 24 points, 9 for 13 for shooting, 6 for 8 from 3, man. Like he did whatever he wanted from perimeter, whatever he wanted. Looking at the Wizards side. This is why I don't bet on the Wizards. I mean, because they got me tonight, man. They got me tonight. I mean, Jordan Poole, 8 points, 3 for 11 from the field. Tyus Jones, 9 points, 4 for 11 from the field. Denny Avdia, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3-11 from the field. Kyle Kuzma, very underwhelming, 16 points, 7 for 12 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3. Daniel Gafford, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block, 20 minutes played, but he got dominated. Not only did he get dominated by the opposing center, he got dominated by Max Strus at times in the paint. And that is just, I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, I expected a lot more from Gaff, man. I mean, there's one thing to match up against, you know, Allen and lose that battle because Allen, look, he's a solidified veteran in this league now, man. He's a consistent guy in the paint. But Max Strus, man, come on. I got to see better effort than that. I mean, it's tough to watch because I hate to say it. I believe they have checked out. I believe they officially checked out to the deadline. And it's just, to me, I'm gonna be 100 with you, and I'm gonna be 100 with everybody, man. I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, we say a lot about culture and playing hard. You know, certain guys who are playing for spots, if you're checked out, maybe it's time for you to roll. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's certain, like I said, everybody on this roster is tradable. If you're really gonna check out, I mean, because like I said, I get it. It's a rebuild. I totally get that. I know we're not gonna be very good. I get that. Effort, culture, playing hard, man. There's one thing to play hard, and then there's a talent gap, which we do have a lot compared to most teams in the league. We have a talent gap and lose. I get that, but to check out, yeah, man. I'm definitely going to shop everybody, and that's just my humble opinion because that is not the right move when it comes to culture, man. Not the right move at all. So,
yeah, no, I mean, I know you're going to be in the practice facility soon. And I know you can get the vibes and the energy that's, you know, the players have, and you know you can tell that they're ready for February, whatever the day is at the trade deadline. They're just ready for that day. It shows in their effort, them not closing out, them not getting the shooters, them not, you know, knowing their personnel. Like Sam Merrill can clearly shoot the 3, Max Strus can shoot the 3, Donovan Mitchell can shoot the 3, Niang, all these guys can come in and shoot the 3, and yeah, they're just, you know, giving up 140 points. Like that's just ridiculous. It really is. It's Matador defense. It's, you can't guard a parked car. You can't guard a stop sign. Everything that Kyle Kuzma said. Bradley Beal, when he was here too, couldn't do the same either. And yeah, I think these guys they're either ready for Cancun or they're ready for the All-Star break, which they could be on the Cancun or wherever, and they're ready to be traded to a different team. And you can certainly tell.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's unfortunate, man. And the reason for that is because No, like I said, man, I get it's a rebuild. They're not going to be very good. There's a big talent gap between the Wizards and most teams. But my thing is this, man, to check out, I don't know what kind of message that really sends, in my opinion. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just quit. I don't like that. And they quit. I mean, there was no effort tonight. It was very minimal effort. I mean, everybody was watching people just roll by them. I mean, 2 minutes in the first quarter, I noticed, matter of fact, I'll say this, the first basket that Cleveland scored, Gafford stood there and watched. I mean, it's just, what are we doing, man? Like, the culture change, it's a lot of changes need to happen. And I'm not just looking at the deadline trades, man. I'm looking at several positions on this team, man. Some changes need to happen because this is not just on the players. Yeah, the players checked out, but who's running the locker room? Like, this kind of effort is not acceptable, in my opinion. I mean, you've got to at least try. You got a lot of people paying good money to come out and watch you play, man. And to see this type of performance, man, it sends the wrong message to this fan base. It really does. And this is why when you go to Cap One, it's just like FedEx. You're outnumbered by other teams because, how are you supposed to feel as a fan for this team when you spend money to watch them and then they turn around and you don't care, you don't put any kind of effort. Like, what are we doing? So this is obviously a blowout loss, man. But I'm very disappointed in the effort I saw from this team overall, man, because you got to play hard. You got to play to win. I get this Cleveland. I thought it was a favorable matchup, but Cleveland, they came to win, and clearly we didn't even show up. So,
nobody's going to Alexandria to watch this. Like, nobody's going to Gallery Place to watch this if they continue to play. And I get it; it's a rebuild, so there's going to be more of this. They're trying to get the best draft pick, so I get it. But at the same time, you still can play with the heart. Can be competitive and still play close games. But no, I'm totally for the rebuild and getting the best draft pick. But they definitely can play with better effort than this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So overall, it was a bad loss, but I expect more effort-wise and culture-wise. So we're gonna go ahead and move on, man.
We need better help.
We definitely need better help, man. So definitely check that out. So tonight's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. So I'm a big believer in talking to somebody, whether it's a therapist, a friend, somebody to talk to is very, very important. Peace of mind is very important now. If you have benefited from therapy, feel free to definitely share your experience in the comments below. But if you're thinking about starting therapy, definitely give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched up with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. All you have to do is just celebrate the progress you've already made because BetterHelp is definitely here to help. So visit betterhelp.com/lockedonnba today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedonnba. And Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Day is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. The Locked On Sports Day on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. So, like I said, I kind of getting back into it, man. To me, this loss, it really kind of shines a lot of the bad areas and a lot of the changes we need to make with this team, man. Like I said, this effort it didn't sit right with me because, like I said, and I'm gonna say it again, I feel like I'm being a dead horse. Definitely tell me to shut up if I keep talking about it. But honestly, man, the part of the foundation of a rebuild is playing the right way. It's hard work, working hard. That's the first thing you need to solidify in the rebuild. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing to have a talent gap, which we clearly do for most teams in this league, outside of maybe San Antonio and Detroit. But to check out, I'm done with two areas, man. Yeah, the deadline we need to sell as much as we can, and at the end of the year, we need to look at the head coaching position because your players are indicative of the coach. If you got players out there to lollygag and watching people run by them, man, that is a coaching issue too. He needs to put his foot down and he needs to run his locker room. There's no reason they need to check out. Because what are we doing? I get it. We're not good. I get that, but I'm just gonna shut up because to me it does not sit right with me, man. The checkout like that, this was probably the worst performance of the year, and we've had a lot of them. Let me tell you, but it's unwatchable because there's no effort, no heart. People are just standing by. Like I said, the very first basket of the game, I noticed Gav sit there and watch it because I believe the first basket was what Jared Allen.
Yeah, it's a dunk.
Yeah, it was that putback dunk. Yeah, so it's just no effort, man. I mean, if you're a vet, and if I'm the GM, if I'm Will Dawkins, man, I'm putting everybody on notice. You want to build effort, man, because we're trying to build culture here, man. We're trying to build, and that is ground zero of what you do in the rebuild, building culture. You develop your young guys off of the culture of working hard. You know what I mean? To check out, and you look at Bilal, man. Tonight he showed effort. Had a terrible night, but he showed effort. He was still out there hustling, man. So why is it that your first round pick from your previous draft is playing harder than guys have been in the league for a minute? I'm done, man. It was hard to watch. I mean, it's one thing to get blown out. It's another thing to get blown out in such a fashion where you don't even show up. They might as well have stayed at the hotel. I mean, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head on a lot of good points. I guess the only somewhat positive thing I could say is Johnny Davis got minutes, but they were minutes when the game was way out of hand. And actually, that's not a positive. It's a bad thing thinking about it because your first round pick from last year, West didn't even want to put him in the game until they were down by 35 to 40 points. So he can't even get competitive or real, minutes. He can't get minutes in a competitive game. It has to be, we wave the white flag and he gets in. He went 1 for 3 from the field. Did have a nice dunk at the end. He did airball a layup. He was trying to do too much and try to avoid contact. So that was not a good play by him. But within the 5 minutes, he tried. Just looking at Bilal, he went 2 for 12. He's a rookie, so there's going to be some games where he has some rough nights. I shot the ball 12 times and only had 5 points. 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. One play he was indecisive, then made a turnover. Then he airballed a 3. I did have some nice blocks. He blocked Tristan Thompson. And then I want to say he blocked Strus. Those were some really, really nice blocks. He had 4 fouls as well. So he almost had as many fouls as points. And how many steals did he have here? Let me see here. Steals, he had 3 steals. So, I mean, he filled up the stat sheet in other ways. Like I said, didn't shoot the ball well, but did some other things. It was a minus 24 tonight as well. But as a rookie, you got to get those minutes. You got to get those reps. You got to get ways you got to find what works and doesn't work for your game in the NBA. You got to have those rough nights to learn from and get better. That's the only way he's going to get better. So, I've seen a lot of people, complaining about his minutes as of late. And, I definitely understand that too. And he's got to be more aggressive as well and be more assertive when he gets the basketball, So West, he's sticking with the veterans over them. You asked him that question. That was a really good question about the showcasing and whatnot. I do think some of it is showcasing, of course. He's just not going to say it. He knows he can't say it, but we know what they're doing as far as we got the reports coming out that Kuzma could be going for multiple. I don't believe that, but he could be going for multiple first-round picks. Tyus Jones has good trade value according to the report that we talked about yesterday. And, you got to probably going to have to move DeLon and a lot of other guys. So, yeah, it's just a weird rotation, a wonky rotation. Jordan Poole, super inconsistent as well. 8 points tonight, 3 for 11. So nobody played well, so I'm not going to single out Jordan Poole. But, just another ugly game. Like you said, the effort, man, it's just not there right now. The guys they just look like they've checked and they're ready for Cancun. They really do. They look like they're ready for Cancun and they're ready for the trade deadline at this point. But, Bilal, I don't care if he goes 2 for 20. He just has to get some of these bad games out of the way in his career. This is what rookies go through. So I don't mind him having a rough shooting night. I just want to see him be aggressive.
Oh, I'm with you, man. Bad shooting night, but I like the aggression. I like, he's definitely comfortable taking those shots. And that's what I like. His offensive side is definitely coming along. You're going to see a lot of hiccups, because he's definitely evolved a lot quicker than we thought he would on the offensive end. Now, defensively, again, I mean, you already nailed it. Then nail in the head, man. I mean, what is it? 3 steals, 2 blocks. So defensively, he's a monster. I mean, the effort is there defensively, just offensively, a lot more consistency. But it's not on a single player tonight because everybody struggled. I mean, Kispert had a decent night. I mean, 0 for 5 from 3, but he, I believe he drove. He did his thing, what he usually does. 4 for 6 from the line. So, but Jones struggled, Poole struggled, Denny struggled. Gaff struggled. I mean, Kuzma struggled. I mean, it was just a struggle. No ball movement. It just ISO. It just we were so stagnant. We didn't push the pace. It was just there was no part of this game team wise or even individually where that we even looked half decent. This was a bad loss, and and I get it. You can definitely expect a lot of these losses, but it's bad because they totally checked out, and they don't realize, man, that when you check out, you're not just checking out on yourself. You're checking out on the fans, man. And I get it. A lot of them want to go to another team, man. But still, I mean, again, people pay big money, man. People are hurting right now. You go out there and you shove over a couple $100s for NBA tickets, man, and you checking out. That sends the wrong message, man. So I think that, with this showing, man, this should send a signal to the front office. Because I think that not only have they checked out to a certain degree, and I really hate to say this, man, because I actually like West, man. But I think that a certain degree, man, he's lost the locker room a little bit, man, because he's got to put his foot down. You got to go out there and you got to play hard, man. None of this lollygagging. I mean, it's just, to me, it didn't sit well. So I'm just going to know like that, man.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I'm with you. So we're gonna quick word from FanDuel, and then we're gonna hop into some comments. We have a Johnny Davis burner in here, so definitely have a little bit of fun with that for sure. Johnny Davis is in the house. Shout out to Johnny Davis for showing up in the chat. But before we do that, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Everything I told you guys to do, bet on the Cavaliers money line so you can get the $150 of bonus bets. I told you to bet on or wager on Jared Allen, any big man that plays against the Wizards. He can get a 20-20 game. Now, he didn't get the 20 points, 20 boards game like Mark Williams, but he was very, very close to it. And if it wasn't a blowout, he might have gotten it. Now, next game when we play the Cavs again, he might get 20 points and 20 rebounds. But I would definitely bet on him to get a double and win versus the Wizards. That's what I bet on FanDuel. It was like minus 176. But I just took it anyway. A win is a win is a win, and money is money. So, but FanDuel, the NFL regular season is wrapping up, but there's still time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's number one sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. The app is so easy to use, and there are so many different ways to bet, like live same game parlays. Find bets in the new Explore tab, make a parlay in the Parlay Hub, the best way to find popular parlays, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make your first bet a layup. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, so we had a couple of comments here. We're going to see you guys tomorrow night, too. Let's see here. James Sheets made the comment here. He asked the question since, Brandon, you are in the practices now. He said, have either of you guys seen, and Brandon, since you now have insight, have either of you guys ever seen the Wizards doing drills or practice this season? Like ever? I'm looking for a single box. So Brandon, this is the question for you.
Nah, man, but they need to. They need to get there and box out, man. I mean, that's a good point, though. I mean, the fundamentals of a rebound, they're just missing. No boxing out, no passion. It's just, yeah, man. I'm about to go out there and start a drill, but look at me, we're going to box out, man. But it's hard to watch, man. I mean, rebounding, I'm telling you, this is the worst rebounding team I've ever seen as far as Wizards, man. I mean, there's no effort in the rebounding, man. So,
yeah, I think they are dead last in rebounding, actually. We talked about it yesterday in the preview. Yeah, the Wizards are the worst rebounding team in the NBA, and you can tell on the eye test that they are the worst rebounding team in the league for sure. I mean, giving up, every big man we play against has a double. Yeah, they're 30th in total rebounding, so they are the worst. They are the worst in the league right now. Offensive rebounding, they're 29th. Defensive rebounding, they're 27th. So yeah, they are the worst rebounding team in the league for sure. And this is something that you can definitely tell by the eye test for sure. K. Cotty says this is the worst defensive performance I've seen. What a joke. Daniel Gafford got backed down and bullied in the paint by Max Strus. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Okoro did the same thing, but he did it to Shamet. Shamet is shorter and smaller than Okoro.
Yeah.
So, it's just about physicality. That's one thing that they got to change on this team, man. Like, the Wizards have been a finesse team for a long time. I think the only time we played with physicality was when we had John Wall and Markieff Morris. He was kind of a tough guy, wasn't scared to get attacked or bully somebody or hit somebody or whatever, body somebody. Not saying like a cheap shot, but, sometimes you just need that mean guy that's going to body somebody. So you had Markieff. Of course, John Wall was a tough nose player.
Yeah.
We just don't have that right now on this roster. Nowhere near that. Hungriness, we just don't have it. Even the Polish Hammer, he played with toughness as well. Give him credit. And we just haven't had that since Death Row DC at all. We just don't have it right now. We just don't have that toughness, that grit. We just don't have it. And that's one thing that I'm looking for Will Dawkins, Michael Winger, and Travis Schlenk to draft guys that play hard, play with a lot of energy, and kind of just have that mean streak to them. We need some guys on this roster. We just don't have it. We have a lot of nice guys. And it's good to have nice guys, kind of like with the Commanders, like a lot of nice guys, a lot of like Rivera wanted it that way. But sometimes you just need some mean guys that are not scared to bully people out there.
Yeah, that's why the Commanders at the second round, second overall pick. I'm saying so. I mean, I'm with you, man. We need some Deshaun Stevensons up in there, man. Some Marquise Morrises, man. We need some guys with attitude, man. You know what I mean? It's just, but that's what I'm kind of going to, man. It's like, all right, when you think of defensive-minded coaches, this would not happen under Thibodeau, man. This would not happen under Thibodeau. I mean, this lack of discipline, this lollygagging, carefree attitude, not playing hard, that's not happening under certain coaches. That's not happening under Pat Riley, man. I mean, there's other coaches in the league. That's not happening. I mean, even Doc Rivers would not let that happen. I mean, he's got to take control of his locker room or he's going to lose it. Because the players, I mean, I say it again, man, and I really mean this. There's a big difference between, not being a good team and going out there and playing hard and losing. I could take that. But when you just quit, I mean, they got smoked. I mean, they lost by 39 points. I mean, at one point it was 44 points. I mean, that's a blowout. I mean, they got smoked. I mean, and it's because they showed no passion, no energy, nothing. I mean, the rebounding is just bad. The defense on every aspect of defense is bad. So, I mean, I'm to the point now, major changes need to happen. Now, I don't know if they're going to wait to the end of the year. I think with Ted Leonsis is not known to fire coaches in the middle of the season, but I think at this point, the front office has to really, really, really think that whole decision of exercising his fourth-year option because you have not seen any improvement of this team in 3 years. Every year we've been bad at defense, man. We've switched out personnel here and there, but it's the same MO. We're just not a good defensive team. And like I said, your players are emulated by the coach. He's got to get into these guys, man, because this is not. I'm very frustrated, man, because to not even care, man, is just what are you really telling your fan base, man? People that are really trying to be loyal and sit through a rebuild. What are you telling me, man? If you're not even putting effort in year one, what are you trying to get me to sit through? Like you gotta play to win, regardless of your talent level. You play to win. So,
yeah, some very interesting comments here. Johnny Davis trolling here. I'll read one Johnny Davis comment. He says, "But I believe Johnny is better than DeLon, right?" T. Martin says, "Stop calling a rebuild, Brandon. It's not a rebuild if you're not building anything." It's supposed to be a rebuild. Yeah. It's supposed to be that. It just depends on the draft. Right now with these guys, they're just not going anywhere. We really have to wait on the draft. We have to wait until June and see what happens with the draft. Really the lottery and then the draft, of course, and then just how the rookie, whoever they get, is developed and played for the next 2 years. And then a lot of people concerned about this staff, Wes Unseld Jr. coaching up whatever guy we draft. So a lot of people are concerned about that, which I totally understand your concerns, people who are saying that. So that's just what's going to happen. And what do we do with trading people? What assets do we get back? And how do we use them in the draft?
Yeah, I mean, that's also a good point, E. But one comment, man, because I know we're getting ready to close it out. They're gonna have to earn this rebuild, man. Because looking at a lot of these young guys, we said this last year and we said this in offseason. Do other teams value our young guys like we value them? Like obviously the emphasis is on Bilal, but I mean they got a lot of work to do, man. They have a lot of work to do because this culture they have going on now is just not very good. I mean, this change is gonna happen. And then this game kind of whooped me up, man. Like enough's enough. Like the defense and the rebounds that bad, they gotta change something because you cannot continue to look like this. There's a big difference between losing and playing hard, and there's a big difference in checking out. And they just got smoked, and that's it.
Yeah, Sugarby says Matador defense. Yeah, that's what I said. Matador defense. He said new one, Olay. Olay. A lot of good comments here. So yeah, he says, but on the plus side, save money switching my car insurance.
There you
And
go.
then New Vision Studio says, after watching this game, and the team need better help. Shout out to Disu Hoopla, who came on the show a couple weeks ago. He says, as I said during the game, JB Bicker's staff coaching is light years ahead of Wes Unseld Jr. And he also said, I knew rebounding was going to be an issue with Gaff being the only true big man we have. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, that's all they got. They have nobody else.
Nah, that's it. I mean, the center position is the bad spot right now. They got,
right.
It really is.
Yeah. Jared Butler, he won the G League Player of the Week.
Nice.
This past week, averaging 23 points a game in the G League, so he's doing a good job. He went 2 for 2 tonight. This is David Butler's comment. Talking about Jared Butler. Yeah, Jared Butler, definitely he has looked in the G League. Yeah, definitely some troll comments. This is what happens when they get blown out. Stuff like this happens. Troll comments and it turns into a comedy show for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a comedy show tonight, man. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night, E. But again, before we roll, I mean, just was a total team loss. I mean, it's just a total loss. So I mean, going forward, man, Friday night, I want to see some more effort. I mean, they got to play harder, man. They have to play harder. I mean, you can't continue to see games like this, man. Like I said, I'm in it to win it. I'm here. I'm gonna be here for the rebuild, man. But they've got to play harder, man. They cannot check out. So to me, that's just giving people the wrong answer. So so before we roll, man, anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it. Yeah, it's an ugly rebuild, but yeah, we're gonna be here for sure.
Yeah, it's Quasimodo ugly, man. Like, so I definitely appreciate you guys showing up tonight, man. Any way you get your podcast 5-star review is much appreciated. YouTube side, like, subscribe. Definitely subscribe to Locked On Wizards, man. We're gonna definitely chop it up. Long season, man, but we have fun on here, man. And definitely heading into the off season, it's gonna be a good time. So definitely recommend you guys become members of Locked On Wizards. So again, appreciate you guys. So we will see you tomorrow night. And of course, the Wizards again do play the Cavs in Cleveland Friday night. So they hopefully get back on track and play harder next time. So appreciate everybody. Hail to the Wizards and peace. See everybody next time.